Truella, what is it? Oh, I'm so glad I found you. I'm so worried. Rudy fell out of a tree and I think he hurt his arm. Oh no, Truella, that's no good. Should we go find Rudy? Yes, let's go find Rudy. Let's go. Rudy, I am so glad that you're okay. I see that you hurt your arm a little bit, but I'm really glad that you're doing okay and that a Band-Aid helped. Yeah, I was climbing a tree and I slipped and I fell and I hurt my arm. It's not very fun when you hurt yourself, is it, Rudy? No. Well, you know what, Rudy? This actually reminds me of a story that we're going to hear from the Bible today. Do you want to hear it? Yeah, I do. Okay, Rudy, why don't you go find Truella and you guys can come and listen to my story today. Well, I'm really glad that Rudy is okay, and I'm really glad that Truella came to find me when Rudy hurt his arm. That was really nice of her to be able to come and help me find Rudy and then help his arm. He just needed a Band-Aid and he was much better afterwards. But this reminds me of a story in the Bible. Now remember, we've been looking at the story from the book of Matthew. And in the book of Matthew, we've been learning all about Jesus and who he is and what he did and what he said while he was on the earth. Well, in this story today, there was a man who had somebody in his life that was very, very sick. His body couldn't move anymore and he was just only able to stay in bed. Now, the person who was his friend was actually a very, very important person. He was the commander in an army, which means that he told people where to go and what to do and how to fight, and he made sure they were safe and he gave them plans to do. He was the boss over all of these different people that were in his army. He knew all about the words that we talked about last week, all about authority. Now remember that authority means that somebody has the power and the might to do something about something else. Another way of thinking about it is that person is the boss. When they say something, you do it. So think about your family. Who is the boss in your family? Usually it's our parents. It's somebody that takes care of us and keeps us safe. They are the boss. Or if you're at school, the teacher is the boss because they're the one that helps keep us safe and helps us to learn. Now, they're the boss that help us, but do you know who the biggest boss is? God. God is the biggest boss. He is the boss over everyone. He has authority, which means the power and the might to do everything. Well, Jesus was on earth and he was showing people that he had authority over everything. This man, who was the commander of an army, came to Jesus and he said, "My servant is very, very sick. Can you heal him?" And Jesus said, "Yes, I will come." The commander said, No. You don't need to come. All you need to do is say the word, because I know what it's like to have authority. When I say something to my army and I say go, they go. I say stay, they stay. So he said, Jesus, you have authority. So when you say something, it will happen. Jesus was amazed. He thought it was amazing that this man had faith. He believed something that was true, and then he acted like it. He said, Jesus, you don't need to come. You just need to say the word and it will happen. Well, guess what? The commander left, and as he got home, his servant, who was very, very sick when he left, do you think he was still very, very sick when he got home? No, he wasn't. He was all better. Jesus made him better because Jesus makes broken things new. Anything that is broken, Jesus can fix it. Jesus can heal it because he has authority over everything. And remember, authority means that he is the boss. Has the might and the power to do whatever he can do in that time. So Jesus healed the commander of the army's servant. Isn't that amazing that Jesus can do hard things that no one else can do? He is the boss. Has authority over everything. That makes me feel really good inside, because if I'm worried or scared or I know someone that's sick, guess what I can do? I can pray for them and ask Jesus to heal them. And Jesus can do it. Well, that's all I have for my story today. Thank you so much for listening, boys and girls. I have an activity for you in just a few seconds, and so stay tuned and we'll do that video next.
Came light out of chaos. You created life, and I'm wonderstruck by the wonder of it all. You never stop amazing me.
All right, everyone, I have a very fun activity for you to do today for our story. We've been talking about authority. So when someone says something, the people do it. So in this particular story, the commander of the army, he said, you know what? When I tell my army to go, they go. When I tell them to stay, they stay. And I have authority over it. I believe, Jesus, that you have authority over all things, so you can just say the word and it will heal my servant. Well, I thought a fun activity to do today would remind us of the power of Jesus' words, because we can play a game called red light, green light. So you can play with this with your parents or your friends or maybe your small group or your neighbors. And what you can do is, do you guys know how to play red light, green light? Well, one person is it and they go a far distance away. They turn around and don't face the group behind them. They turn around and they say green light. And when they just decide they want to, they turn around and say red light. And when they say red light, the people have to listen. They have to stop and freeze. And once they're done being frozen, the person turns around again and says green light, and then red light. And you keep playing until the people reach the person that's it. And then you switch places and do it again. That's a really fun game to play at home. Of course, you can play other games like that, like What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf, or Mother May I, or different games, or Simon Says. That's another fun one. You can play any of those games to remember the power of words and that Jesus only had to say the words and healing happened right away. That's all I have for us today. Thank you so much for joining in for this story. I miss you all so much. I hope to see you all very soon. Have a great week, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.